Hey everybody, it's Cody, Dixon RC. So I've got a new build I'm doing for the winter. I've had this stuff for a while. I've fitted it a couple times and things like that. So this is going to be my new comp class 2 rig. It's not going to be crazy, off the wall, wild stuff like some people are building. This will be my build to replace my other blue Ford pickup truck I had, the one I called Old Blue. Kind of wish I never would have got rid of it, if you want the truth about it. But anyway, that's fine. So we're going to do something new to the channel as far as this goes. Instead of it being RTR and stuff, this is like a build where you buy all the parts and just put it together kind of deal. We are doing a ATL chassis made by Brazin Scale RC, using his chassis rails. And I did have the full bracing with the double servo mount in the front. I got rid of the servo mount in the front, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Also got his skid for the TRX4 transmission. Single speed, no 2-speed. Going to be using TRX4 sport axles. I bought a sport roller from a guy for a really good deal, so I snagged everything off of that. Going to go with a 10th scale RC servo mount on axle, servo on axle mount, because I feel like that's the best option for this. Servo on axle for a reason. I feel that in a competition setting, you get better, you know what's happening, kind of deal. You have more sensitivity to how you're steering and stuff like that. You ain't got to worry about any flex when you have CMS. CMS is great for trail rigs and things like that for the more scale look. I know you get a couple of points in certain competitions and stuff for having CMS, but I just can't. I don't like it. It's just my opinion. You know, not everybody's going to feel that way. So I got that. I also got the Brazin links, the Delrin links. I got high clearance ones for the lowers. Went with the Team Raffy drive shafts, the metal ones. They seem to work really well. I beat the snot out of them in the sport, so I figured why not. Of course, TRX4 shocks with my mod kit. This is the one that I actually shot the video that's on here with the 3D printed ends and all stuff like that. I will be going over the new stuff soon because everything's new now on that. We're going to go with Boom Racing T37s. This is the concave set in silver. These are 4.75 ultra soft hustlers. These will be changed to narrows. I'll have some more narrows soon. So those seem to be really, I think that'll be really cool on this one here. Got a couple of bumpers that I made and some side, like side plates. Really that's about it. Oh, we're going to be running the GRC front mount for the servo winch. And we're taking a 12 volt 46K JX servo. I've snatched everything out of the inside of it, and it's going to be my winch. I had one laying around, so we'll just use that. GRC winch spool as well. I think that's it. So I'm going to build this really quick, show you how to build. I'm not going to show you how to build. Most of you know how to do this. If you don't, this will be a good little deal to show you how everything goes together. It's really simple. This Brazin skid that he designed is really nice. It's nice and flat. It's actually built really cool, and it has SCX10 fitment on the side, so that pretty much means that any SCX10 skid will technically fit this chassis. So that's pretty cool if you have that and you wanted to do that kind of deal. I like the idea that he made this to fit that. I kind of would have liked it to have different kind of fittings as far as that goes, but no big deal, not a big issue really at all. So let's come around. Of course, this is my new little camera rig. It's pretty cool. It kind of works really nice. It was a cheap little deal on Amazon, so we'll use that, and I'll show you what's going on and show you how to build. It shouldn't take too long to build it, so hopefully this will be a quick little video. And then the next video will be all electronics. I kind of know what I want to use. I kind of don't. I kind of gone back and forth with brushless and brushed, just because I don't really know. I've got a 550 axe set up here that works. And I could also do a 1080 setup with a nice Holmes motor. It would be really cool as well. That's what was in the last build. I had a Crawlmaster Expert 13 turn, I think is what was in it. That thing was, no, Pro, Crawlmaster Pro 13 turn. That thing was a beast. We'll go, here's the body I'm going to use. It is the Proline Bronco body in blue, of course. Black interior, of course. Not the best paint job I've ever done, but, you know, it'll work. No big deal. Has the cage. Plan to put headlights in it, that kind of deal. So it'll work out. It'll be great. So I'll loop around and we'll build this thing real quick. All right, so we're back. So when you buy this chassis, it does not come with any bracing, which this is what this brace is here. It also comes with one of these for the back, and then you get this brace that goes in the back. And of course you get little mounts for the front as well, for like a bumper, where a bumper would go. You have to buy this skid separately. It does not come with it. So you kind of got to watch that as well. You know, you spend a little bit of money doing that. Also, it doesn't come with any hardware. So what that means is you have to source out your screws of what you want to use. This center skid. So, of course, I have this built kind of because I have put this thing together a couple times. I've left the upper links on. You choose where you want them to go. I just put them in the middle because that seemed to work. That is not necessarily where you have to put it. You can put it wherever you want to put it. But, so let's put this together here. So the skid just slides right in. And you just pick whatever kind of bolts you want to use. Make sure this is for where your lowers will go. You see there's a connection there. When the link goes in there, the rod end goes in there, that's your capture point. So just make sure you know that. We'll do this by hand. I got to cut, I think these are 3 by 10. I think is what they wind up being. I'm going to just start these in here. I do not really suggest using a drill for this. I'm all about using a drill most of the time. But I do not suggest using a drill for this 3D printed stuff. I did use a drill, I think, the first couple times. And I have used it since then, just taking it in and out, you know, because it's just easier that way as far as that goes. But it can be a problem. You know, you'll wind up running into issues when you do that. So be careful. If you do use a drill, be careful because you can strip out this material very easily. The biggest problem I've seen with this particular part of this skid for me is the part right here that the motor, you know, the housing bolts to, you know, because right here's where the little motor plate goes, where your motor sticks through, because, you know, because it's going to go out this way. These two was what holds that down, and it is not, it's not very good. Let's just put it that way. I don't like it. It works, but it's not great, so to speak. So, you know, it's one of those things you just kind of got to keep messing with until you get it right. So we'll put the rear links on. Of course, they'll go, bend goes in the back always. You can just figure out whichever one you want that to go there. You do have to pick out some screws. I've got a whole load of screws over here that could possibly go to this. I don't know. I think these are not actually long enough, but I think they work. Yeah, that's good enough. Make sure the bend points towards the top of the chassis, not the bottom of the chassis, because then you'll have them backwards. There it goes. So there's those. Fronts are the shorter ones, of course, which that's kind of a normal thing there. All right, so there's that. So we'll do the rears. The rear one first. You really do got to find some long screws for these because they are very tight. Also, you got to have the rear set up. The lower links the shock go on the outer part of that as well. So you gotta be careful with that. Also, so we'll move the lowers out of the way for now. Uppers will go. Of course, I'm using Brett made me a, or Brett made me a set of links to fit the boom rod ends, because I wanted to use boom rod ends and not Traxxas rod ends. So he did that for me, because I sent him measurements and he just made them for me. So we're good to go on that as far as that goes. So that's cool that he'll do that. I don't know if he'll do that for everybody, but he did that for me. He probably will do it for anybody, to be honest with you. But it's easier just to use the Traxxas ends that he includes with them as well. So, you kind of just do whatever you want to do there. So, as you know, my my shock mod kit has 3D printed cups here. Well, now they do not include that anymore. They include a Delrin cup, which you really can't see very well. Let's see, there we go. So it's a perfect fit for the Traxxas rod end and everything. You got to worry about breaking that as well. So we're going to put these together here. I don't have to do this any particular way. This will probably come back apart again before I'm done anyway. So there it goes. So we'll do this side here. All right, so the back's done. So the front is a little bit different because it has this 1/10 scale servo housing. So it's a little funky how it bolts up. It does not bolt up easy. It's got a brace here that runs across, and that goes into one of the uppers, which you have to make an upper as well, because this thing's made for 3-link, so you have to make your own for the 4-link. It's just kind of how it is. It's what you got to do, and you got to deal with it. So it's not hard to do, but it's just one of those things. So you figure out where it goes in here. This is the hardest part, because you've got to, this part goes in there the way it goes. It kind of captures it together as far as the servo goes, and this bracket that right here. So you got to kind of pay attention to how it goes together, because see, like this one did not go together very right. So let's see. The biggest problem is fitting because let's see if I can get the other one in there. So this one's the stock one here. And it's not going to go very well either, because of the way it's, I don't know how to explain. I'm going to move it over here so I can. All right, so that took a little bit of finagling. The problem is the boom rod ends are bigger than the slots of the axles itself. So that kind of poses a problem when you go to try and do this. Some of them work okay, like these, see how it bends it out a little bit. It's kind of one of those things you kind of just figure out how to make it work. It's kind of, I hate saying it like that, but it's true. You just kind of got to fiddle with it and keep messing with it. Eventually it's going to start working. So this one side here on this 10th scale servo has a little bracket that goes where the shock normally goes. You kind of got to watch that because it is a little bit of a bigger kind of deal. Yeah, there it goes. So that should work out. All right, so now we'll put shocks on. I like to use a kind of a small spacer. These are K&K spacers. Of course, this is K&K hardware as well. So we'll put them on there. And of course, there's multiple positions to put shocks wherever you want to put them. You can choose to put them where however you want to do it. Mine are just set in a spot right at the moment till we do some testing and stuff. I have no idea if this will work or not. Also, the size of the screws I'm using isn't correct either. They need to be a tad bit longer because they're not hitting the nylon at all. So these are the ones for they're supposed to be for the Defender and the Tactical, the 12.8 wheelbase ones. I take them and you take the rear and you just chop off that part there and it works fine. That's all you need. It's not much movement as far as what you need so they'll fit, but you know, that kind of deal there. So we're going to that ain't supposed to happen. There we go. We're good on that. Tighten that down. Now, you know what's weird? These do not go in phase, which is strange. I figured they would have, but they actually do not. There we go. Easy to put back together. I said they don't go in phase, but you know what's weird is that the front one will. The back one will not, but the front one will. All right, so drive shafts are in. We pretty much got a roller. Well, without wheels and tires, but we got to put them on anyway. But and we'll do something next time. So that pretty much shows you how to build a Brazin scale ATL chassis with using TRX4 shocks, TRX4 axles, TRX4 single speed sport transmission using a 1/10 scale. Now we'll get into all the rest of it the next time, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.